Hi, I'm Ron Grunsby with Photonics Online. I'm here at SPIE Defense Security and Sensing in Baltimore, here with Dr. Robert Lieberman, President of Intelligent Optical Systems and a member of the DSS Steering Committee. Thanks for taking some time with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm really glad to take this time.
Appreciate it. What are some of the trends that you've seen in the industry over the last year or so, and how have they been addressed in this year's conference?
Well, you know, we're seeing, as I think it has been for every year for a number of years, we're seeing a real increase in the use of the optics and photonics technology that has been developed primarily for communications. And I like to draw the analogy to the electronics revolution of the 1930s, where everybody was just stunned by the use of electronics to carry signals over the airwaves and magically arrive in your living room. Right. But nobody could have foreseen that that would lead to things like a computer in your pocket, or nobody even knew what a computer was. Right. And I think photonics and optics are in a very similar situation now. We're sort of transitioning from the point where everybody pretty much knows that most of your long distance phone calls are coming down optical fibers and use light. But a lot of people aren't aware that there are many other optical technologies that have sort of spun out of that and been developed in parallel to that, that are revolutionizing the way we live in many other ways. Everything from your little compact disc player to some of the really amazing long wavelength and infrared wavelength imaging devices that you see in this conference.
Great. How's the move of the show to Baltimore been received, and has it been everything you've hoped?
We were actually quite happy with the way things worked out. SPIE always tries to serve the user community. As we all know, defense security and sensing has been one of the vibrant centers for reporting, not just defense, but also sensing and monitoring technologies, and there's a lot of that presence here. Orlando was a great location for us. We had a lot of attendance in our show, but we were just beginning to outgrow it. The facility we were in and the region we served was saturated. We kind of stabilized our growth there. The move to Baltimore has been very gratifying for SPIE. There are more attendees at this conference. There are more people in this wonderful trade show. It was more than 10% growth in the trade show, so the move is really even better than we expected. We're really happy with that.
That's great. Now, Intelligent Optical Systems has had a pretty big presence at the show. What are some of the things that you've been promoting?
Well, we're actually very fortunate to have been selected by SPIE to be one of the featured companies in the product demonstration area, and that's because of our light emitting diode incapacitator technology. This has gotten a lot of publicity in the popular press, but also in the law enforcement and other communities. And what this really is a non-lethal self-defense device. It's an alternative to maybe more intrusive things, but if you'll just back up one step, I'll do a very quick demonstration. I promise I won't do too much to you. But as you can see, the immediate reaction is you close your eyes, you probably are seeing
just
those blue spots right now.
Disoriented for a second.
And the full cycle of this goes for about 30 seconds, and it winds up with a great deal of disorientation on the part of the potential adversary. So this particular thing has wound up being, I mean, it's an attention getter, I have to say. A lot of the crowds have come by, and so it's been very good for us to have this opportunity to highlight this one aspect of what we do at IOS.
And as a member of the steering committee, can you elaborate a little bit about the scope of this show?
Yeah, actually, many people don't realize that there is a large focus on sensing and monitoring at this show. It's not the defense, security, and sensing show, it's the defense, security, and sensing show. And there are a lot of exhibitors here, including ourselves, who are demonstrating products other than security-related things. For example, we as a company have spun off a successful biochip reader technology into the hands of an outfit that is releasing a product, actually just released a product last month. We're working on detectors for traumatic brain injury. We have some monitoring equipment that we're featuring at the show in our other booth for non-destructive evaluation and testing. So I'd really like to emphasize, and SPIE is trying to make the point to the larger community, this show is a home for people who are doing optical sensing and monitoring as well. It's really very exciting that we have this mix. And there's a lot of crossover, of course, between the defense applications and industrial and medical applications as well.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Dr. Lieberman. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity.